सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Okay, let us chant this shloka.
Yamaji.
Yeah.
tapobhiḥ kṣīṇapāpānāṃ
tapobhiḥ kṣīṇapāpānāṃ
śāntānāṃ vītarāgiṇām
śāntānāṃ vītarāgiṇām
mumukṣūṇāmapekṣyo'yamātmabodho
mumukṣūṇāmapekṣyo'yamātmabodho
Atmabodho vidhīyate
Atmabodho vidhīyate
tapobhiḥ kṣīṇapāpānāṃ
tapobhiḥ kṣīṇapāpānāṃ
śāntānāṃ vītarāgiṇām
śāntānāṃ vītarāgiṇām mumukṣūṇāmapekṣyo'yam
Atmabodho vidhīyate.
Atmabodho vidhīyate.
Yeah. Good. So we spent a few sessions getting a background on the life of a human being, somewhat. Everybody writes biographies and autobiographies, but none of the autobiography takes us anywhere towards Vedanta. Autobiography says the general life, and if that life is inspiring to us, how Ratan Tata, what was his life like? If somebody were to write a book like that, then it will be inspiring, something to read. You can learn from somebody else's life, that's possible. But auto means, what is auto? Auto is self. We should not think autobiography means Vedanta text and all that. No, it's not. Now only we are coming to Vedanta. Now only real autopilot. I don't want to say pilot and all, but real auto. Let's put it that way. So we saw the pursuits of a human being. What exactly does a human being want? And we saw these purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama. Okay, I'm not going to review all that. And it is universal. It's not specific to any gender or country or religion or anything like that. Dharma, artha, kama. Then we said that we are going to see a bit more detail on why dharma, artha and kama, they perpetuate the same life again and again. You can't come out of that dharma, artha, kama terrain. Dharma, artha, kama terrain. Okay? The terrain, I hope, is the right word. The reason I'm using that word is, a few days ago I did chat GPT on something on Vedanta, some question I had, and I wanted to see if ChatGPT is doing three reasons why we use something, right? We want to check out whether this guy really knows. Sometimes I get questions where I can guess This man is checking me out. He doesn't want to know. He is just checking me out. Okay, in our class, such people are not there. I had a person like that long ago, and he was constantly checking me out. And I didn't do anything. I had answers for everything. Then he figured out that he can't check me out anymore. He left the class. Nothing wrong with that. That's how it will work. And so I wanted to check out ChatGPT. And this ChatGPT, he responds with something, not reasonably good response. And then he says, do you want me to do these things? This ChatGPT is absolutely amazing. It's indefatigable. It goes on and on and on. As long as you have the energy, you can deal with it. And he says, do you want me to put it in a table, compare this and this? Since this is your terrain, it seems. He knows my gotra better than I do my gotra. Okay? That's the idea here. ChatGPT. I don't know where this is going to go. Anyway. Since in that terrain, if I am in the dharma, artha, kama terrain, then I am booked for good. This is what we say in Shastram, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Chakracharya says in Bhajagovinda. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Kshīṇe puṇye matya lokam vishanti. No, I am a great philanthropist. I do service to society. Good. You need to do that. And gain punyam. But then the guy should say, whether I get punyam or not, this is what I am going to do. Nishkama. That is the greatness. But otherwise, I get punyam, and who is going to exhaust the punyam? My father or my children? No, sorry, it's not going to work like that. I have to exhaust the punyam I gained. And for that I have to be born again. Alright. So therefore, this dharmartha kama is going to keep me right there. And so we saw the story of Narada, where he talks about mantra videvasmi natu atmavid. I know everything, all the sciences I know, but I don't know Atma. Like that he says. So that's how we got into the topic of moksha. Okay. Now, one thing I said which is a mistake. I said there are two types of granthas. Okay, outside of the Shastram, outside of Veda and Bhagavad Gita, in terms of prakarana granthas, which we are studying, there are two types of prakarana granthas, I said. The first type I said is jnana granthaha, if you all remember that. You have to go back to your notes. If you haven't found your notebook, I'm sorry. But otherwise, if you found it, because I see a lot of people still just they haven't figured out which book also. They're still bringing the books. That's fine. At least you're there here. So, Nyaya Grantaha, I said, that is not correct. It should have been Pravesha Grantaha. Pravesha Grantaha means entry text. Pravesha Grantaha.
You did say Pravesha Grantaha.
I said Pravesha Grantha. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have written it Pravesha Grantaha.
No, you wrote it because we discussed it in satsang. You discussed it in satsang. Okay, you forgot, but I did not forget. I don't think so. I said Nyaya Grantha in the main talk, I think. At least somebody should corroborate.
You said Pravesha Grantha.
I think you did
Pravesha
say
Grantha.
Nyaya Grantha.
You said Pravesha and Siddhi. Pravesha and Siddhi, not Satsang. Real class only.
Real class
Pravesha
only.
and Siddhi.
No, I've
Okay.
written. You said Nyaya Grantha first.
Correct. So that Nyaya word I used, Nyaya Grantha, and then I initially said Pravesha, but I moved on to Nyaya and Siddhi Grantha. And so some of you may have written it down like that. But it turns out it is Pravesha Grantha, and the Siddhi Grantha is also called a Nyaya Grantha. Nyaya means logic, tarka and all that. And tarka only some people can handle up to a certain point. Beyond that it goes. That is called Nyaya Grantha or Siddhi Grantha. Okay. To study which we need to have studied Pravesha Granthas. Okay. So two types of Prakarana Granthas. Prakarana, as I said, is any text on Vedanta is a Prakarana Grantha. Okay. Any text written by a person, by a human being, is a Prakarana Grantha. Alright. And so, Pravesha Grantha and Siddhi Grantha or Nyaya Grantha. They are synonyms. Last two words are synonyms. Okay, that is by the way. So now, in this shloka, Shankaracharya is doing what many acharyas do when they teach Vedanta or write any text. They have to say, why are you writing this text? It is the responsibility of the writer to do that. And that is what he is saying here. Why am I doing it? He is saying tapobhiḥ, kṣīṇapāpānāṃ, śāntānāṃ, vītarāgiṇām, mumukṣūṇāṃ. So for the sake of mumukshus, for the sake of vitaragis, for the sake of śāntas, okay, I am writing this book, like that he says. So we have to spend a little time understanding all these words. So, a lot of things to say. I'm deciding what to say now. So there is I said preparedness. I mentioned last time adhikaritvam. Okay, I said anything I want to do, I have to be qualified to do that, or at least I must be qualified to learn to do that. Okay. Somebody went to a trip, not camping, it's a trekking trip. Chandrashila, trekking trip. Okay? Chandrashila, I've never heard this. And she told me, Chandrashila, you have to trek so many kilometers or so many days and all that. And this lady is not qualified for all that. I know that because she has certain, the breathing is not right. And BP is there and things like that, and physique also is not appropriate. She said, these people, the Chandrashila trip, and then advertisement, and then you will, the highest Shiva temple, Tunganath, highest Shiva temple, high altitude trekking it is. It is not some ordinary Nilgiri trekking, okay?
Happy to say that I've been there, Guruji. I went on this trek.
There you go. We got people who can corroborate what I said. And even if I am not 100% right, don't jump, because it's just an example, okay? I'm just giving an example. And so, then they say things like this Yaksha Prashna. This Yudhishthira's brothers ended up drinking water and died in that lake. And you will go through that lake, it seems. Okay, it's called some Diorital lake or something like that. Okay, Shravanaji is saying yes. All right. So, this is the advertisement. Now you apply for it. Then what they do is, you got to apply 4, 5 months or 6 months in advance. Number one. Why that much in advance? Because you got to go through this rigorous regimen they have. And you have to walk some 5 kilometers in 60 minutes, or run 10 kilometers in 1.5 hours, 90 minutes, something. They have these rules. And they have an app called Strava, Strava. How I knew this? Because my nephew sent me, Peripa, I did this jogging and all, he said. And then the Strava traces the path, and then it does all this, and all that it does. And so you got to record your workout through that Strava. And you have to send every day, you have to send them something. So she is doing this for 4 months. And then goes to this Chandrashila trek. That is why I always believe, if you want to improve your health, you have to pay some money. There is no free way to improve your health. Not possible. I will eat nutritious food and get better. It won't work. It won't work, because how long you will eat alfalfa? Please tell me. Sprouted beans. Who will make for you sprouted beans? People who make sprouted beans for you will get tired. Their health will improve, but your health won't improve. Okay. So, anyway, preparation. Adhikaritvam. Whatever you do, this preparedness must be there. You must be an adhikari to climb this, to do this trek. Any place you go, that's how it is. And so, here also it is the same thing. Here also it's the same thing. Swamiji gives a nice subhashitam. Look, anabhyase visham shastram. Anabhyase visham shastram. Shastram is a poison to somebody who is not prepared. Who is not prepared and who is not really working towards it. Anabhyase. Anabhyase visham shastram. Okay? And then Ajirne bhojanam visham. This gastro problem somebody has all the time. Some eat something, then vomit, and eat something, this something. The gastro ajirne bhojanam visham. Food itself is a poison. Any food, it doesn't matter what food. People are eating all kinds of stuff. Almond cake and this kheer and that thing and all that taking, and all this person can do is watch. They can watch and act as though they are eating. That's it. They can cook food also for them. That also they can do. But some people are like that. They just can't handle any type of food. And so ajirne bhojanam visham. Then what? Then visham sabha daridrasya. Visham sabha daridrasya. People who don't have any, people who are poor, let's say, and they've lived in poor circumstances, they don't have exposure to various, they're not even educated properly, etc. Suddenly they're put in front of a crowd which is all educated and all well dressed and all that. Then what happens? They can't handle the situation. They won't go there, first of all. So, recently we conducted a workshop for the children, the youth we are sponsoring. We are giving college fees to all these youth in Tamil Nadu. And unlike in Mysore, they're all in one place, so we have a center. But in Tamil Nadu, we don't have a center. We are just in various parts of Tamil Nadu, based on their qualifications, we sponsor their education, college education. So we invited all these guys to Coimbatore. Some 10, 12 people came. And one day whole workshop, 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Okay. These people didn't know what to do. They were excited, but when they are sitting, they are on the spotlight. So they can't handle the spotlight. They have never got this kind of spotlight, and this kind of attention they did not get. We are all talking about them only. We are talking about education and career and some values, some whatever. Now we are saying, now what about you? Tell me about yourself, your life. You've gone through a lot. We have not gone through the life that you have gone through. Please tell us so we can learn. And suddenly spotlight. That thing, words are not coming out. So, that sabha, they're not used to sabhas. And so just an example that came to my mind. Visham sabha daridrasya. So you have to encourage them. You're going to say, no, don't feel shy. And no, you've gone through tough experience. Tell me, I told somebody, your father left you. How did you feel? Talk about all that. Okay? And so, durjanasya subhashitam visham. Now you understand. Durjanasya, sajjana and all we have. Then durjana is also there. Subhashitam visham. You tell them something good. And then it won't make any sense to them. For a person whose mindset is to deceive others and to make something out of every situation. Matlabi wala, something like that person. So Subhashitam Visham, he's not interested in listening to anybody. He's trying to find a way out and maximize, optimize, profit from the situation. Okay, and so once somebody was said, asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. And the guy who is listening to it, not listening, he knocks on the door. He's an evangelist. He knocks on the door and he says, I have good news for you. I have what for you? I have good news for you. God has come to save you. And he says, look, you people are all in darkness. How do you know all this? Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. See, your prayer itself tells me you're all wallowing in darkness. You're all confused people. And I am the messenger, God's messenger. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. You only wanted to go from darkness to light, correct? That light is the good news. I am bringing the good news. This was there in the website of Vatican.org. You believe it or not. You may not be able to be, this is there, Vatican.org. After some religious organizations complained, Hindus complained, they removed it. This is how it is. This is big business, my dear friends. It's all business. Okay? Don't equate religions. Never do it. And so we may have good other friends and all that. Let us have good friends. But that's where it stops. The buck stops there. Okay? So, Dujjanasya Subhashitam Visham. Whether it is Visham for them or not, it becomes Visham for us. He takes our Subhashitam and puts it back to us. So, like this, point here is, you have to be prepared for any subject matter. And here, being something that we have to understand, not simply believe, okay, we need to have some preparedness, and all of you have that kind of preparedness. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting for more than 1 or 2 classes. Not possible, right? See, we had some 62 people in the first class. Now it is 46. So okay, so I'm used to all this stuff. I'm used to it. Okay, so I'm not shocked or surprised. That's because of various reasons. One of the reasons is not lack of preparedness. Other reasons could be there, lack of time and things like that. But so now we have to talk about what is called Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. This preparedness that I've been talking about is a sampatti. It's a wealth. Shastram says it's a wealth. That wealth we have to gain. And what is that wealth? Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. Fourfold wealth, which is the means, sadhana. Which is a means for what? Means for grasping what is now going to come from the Shastram. Okay, that is called Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. I will also use the word Adhikaritvam. Qualifications, preparedness. A person who has this Adhikaritvam is called an Adhikari, referred to as an Adhikari. Adhikari. Company hire people. They hire people. If it's a new guy coming out of college, some preparedness they must have. We can train the guy, not a problem. But he has to have what kind of mindset he has, they look for. Then we'll hire him. We can put him in any department that he eventually fits in. We'll train him for 6 months. So they all look for that. Some kind of a adhikaritvam. Alright. Okay, this is the idea. So now we are going to look at this shloka. First shloka of Atmabodha. Tapobhiḥ kṣīṇapāpānāṃ śāntānāṃ vītarāgiṇām mumukṣūṇāmapekṣyo'yamātmabodho vidhīyate. Atmabodha vidhīyate. Atmabodha is written, is recommended, is required. Vidhi means, many meanings are there. One meaning of vidhi is it's unnegatable. Vidhi, tala vidhi they say. Tala vidhi, my karma, Vidhi is unstoppable. Karma is unstoppable, So vidhīyate is a requirement. This text is a requirement for some people. He's going to say what those some people are. Requirement. Because they are the ones ready for this text. Atmabodha vidhīyate. I am Atmabodha vidhīyate. That word I am means this. This within brackets text called Atmabodha is I would say is indicated. In medicine they have a nice little term. Indicated. Indicated means based on these symptoms, these kinds of medicines are prescribed. Prescribed. I think that's a better word. I think they say composed, but I'm not sure if composed is the right word for it. Anyway, this text. Now the rest of the shlokas, words are all in the shloka are all talking about that person for whom he is going to say that, right? All right. This is the introduction. Now earlier I said Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. There is a particular order in which we have to talk about these qualifications. Okay. So I will tell you the first qualification. Okay, this is going parallel track, it's going to go. First qualification is called Vivekaha. Vivekaha. Vivekaha means what? Some kind of a discernment. Discernment. You are able to See things through. See more than what meets the eye, they say. That is called vivekaha. Separating the wheat from the chaff. They use all these words. Okay, vivekaha. You look at milk and say, it's watery. It's watery. Okay, so not all milk is identical, you know. So, means you can see it. You can see. Which dhatu for Sanskrit students. Which. You can see which is which. That's why it's called vivekaha. So, I was thinking of something, saying something. Then I said I wrote it down somewhere and I was trying to look for it. All right. So here, Viveka. So every aspect of life, you need this discernment. Correct? You have to know, parents have to know what's good for their children. Children don't know what's good for children. So who else should know? Parents have to know. So then based on that only, they are guiding the children. Children have no clue at all. They will eat whatever comes, they will say whatever comes, and they will do whatever comes. And so the parents set up that environment. Thus far, no more. Nothing wrong with it. There is a Shubhashitam, you know what it says? Panchavarshani Rajavat. Panchavarshani Rajavat. Treat your child like a king or a queen for 5 years. 5 years. Then what? Dashavarshani Dasavat. 10 years after that, you have to treat that person as a worker, laborer. Do what I tell you to do. That's it. Then, Shodashe Varshe Prapte, after 16 years, give up all this Dasa Buddhi and all that, you got to Putram Mitravad Acharet. Treat the child like a friend. No longer a child, adult now. So treat that adult as a friend. So have a dialogue. What would you like? I think this is better for you. What do you think? That kind of dialogue will work for this. That is what the Shubhashitam is saying. Okay, I said this because somebody said other day, and I am planning to take them to this temple, and my boy says something. No, I'm not. This is not for me or something. This is not for me, not in our culture. You can't talk like this in our culture. I told her, this Subhashitam says like this. I told her and left it for her to decide. Oh, apdiya, she was saying. So, these are all good tips we have. So that means what? Vivekaha. Everywhere, every facet of our life, Viveka, we constantly use Viveka. Some parents will say no phones, no cell phones. For some years, the children have not seen cell phones at all. They may have seen, but they have not used it. And life goes on just fine. Just fine. Or some parents will say no social media. I saw news recently. Australia, they banned Facebook or something like that for this.
Media. They cannot have any Facebook, Twitter, anything. No account for children.
Social media. When I saw the news, I said, my God, there are still some intelligent people in this world. And Australia banned it, that too. Means this is great. This is great news for them. Great news for children. Anyway, Vivekaha. All that comes from what? Vivekaha. Here it's not none of those things. Here it is Atma Anatma Vivekaha. All the other Viveka, Dharma Viveka and all must have been there before for me, which now brought me towards this point where I now have Atma Anatma Vivekaha. It is nothing I told you so far. It is Atma Anatma Vivekaha. Hey, there is Anatma and there is Atma. I am confused about these things, and that clarity I must have. Fundamentally, I am Atma, but I have mistaken myself to be Anatma, and I need clarity. That much is there. Anatma is is temporary. It's born and it dies. Atma is not born, it does not die. All this I've heard somewhere when I was chanting Bhagavad Gita as a kid. Now I need to know all these things. That is called Atma Anatma Vivekaha. That's enough. That's called Vivekaha. That clarity is there. Alright, next Vivekaha. That word literally is not appearing in this shloka. They won't say all the qualifications. They will just indicate qualifications by a few words. And then we extrapolate it to all these four. First one is Viveka. Second one is Vairagyam. Vairagyam. And that word is indicated here, vītarāgiṇām. Okay, I'll come to vītarāgiṇām later. But let's talk about Vairagyam. Ragaha. Ragaha is the key word there. Ragaha. Ragaha means a like. Literal meaning is like. Like. So we all have likes and dislikes. When we talk to small children, we talk about what they like and they don't like, right? What do you like to eat? Then they immediately answer. You can't ask them things like how many years have you been going to school and all. They don't like all these questions. How many years mean time? They for them time doesn't exist. And you ask them about time and all these things. How many more years do you have to finish elementary school? What kind of question is that? You ask them something. What game do you like? What games do you play? Do you play football? No, I'm not good at football. Okay, at least she has an answer to say. So like, you have to start with like, because every human being begins to, they appreciate likes and dislikes. I don't like this fruit. I don't like all this. My mom cooks only all this okra and what is that? Bitter gourd and this is all she gives me. I like to come to your house because you auntie, you cook very well. Because likes and dislikes are crystal clear. And from then, for whole life is full of likes and dislikes. We go after what we like. We desist. We try to remove whatever we don't like. We don't go towards our dislikes. This is what our life is. So that raga, he picks the word raga and he's saying the preparedness is, if likes and dislikes only govern my life, then I am in for trouble. Because what I like may be unethical also. Then I get into a trap. So I can't allow my likes and dislikes to pull me forward. And so the short answer to that is Vītarāgi. I must be somebody who is not driven by my likes and dislikes. I must be driven by dharma adharma. Okay? Dharma and adharma should decide what I do. If I like what is dharmic, fantastic. Life is great. No conflicts whatsoever. And if I don't like what is adharma, great. Then that is the best slot to be in. But I have to put up with a lot of inconveniences. That person will have to put up. No doubt about it. If I say I won't bribe and this and that, welcome to a tough world out there. If you don't bribe in India, you'll be in the streets quickly. Quickly you'll be in the streets. And no person will sign a piece of paper. And so, anyway, so that fine. But that is what he's talking about. Vītarāgi means what? I like a lot of things. And even for good health also, I can't go with my likes and dislikes. I have to slowly withdraw myself from these kinds of things. That's what he's saying here. Vītarāgiṇām. Vairagyam means what? Viragasya bhavaha. Vigataha ragaha. Vigataha means gone. These likes and dislikes are gone from whom is called a viragi. And that state of mind that this person has is called vairagyam. That person has vairagyam, you see. Likes and dislikes gone, it says. No, likes and dislikes cannot be removed from anybody. There's no need to remove your likes and dislikes. You just have to need not act on those likes and dislikes. That is what is being said. Because raga is ichha. Ichha is a shakti. Ichha shakti, kriya shakti, jnana shakti, swarupini. Hey, you are in the form of my ichha shakti. You are in the form of my capacity to know, jnana shakti. You are in the form of my kriya shakti. I do so many things from morning to evening. That shakti is you. That's what we pray in Lalita Sahasranam. So what is it? We take away all the ichha out. Ichha ko nash karna chahiye. You look at all these talks. Early morning talks are there. We have a lot of spiritual channels and people talk all kinds of things. Any language, any person, any Swami, everything you can see on TV. And some of them will talk like this. Ichha ko nash karna, satya nash karna chahiye. And people will say yes, because they don't know any better. But then, now you have a new desire. What is your desire? Your desire is, I must remove my desires. That is another desire you have. And because desires can never be removed from a person, you will be in a such nice trap. It's a perfect trap. And then we'll ask, Guruji, how can I remove my desires? That is the next question. And so, nobody asks anybody to remove. Krishna says very well, Indriyasya indriyasyate ragadvesho vyavastithau. Indriyasya indriyasyate means, in anything in this universe, which is an object of my senses, indriyasya, arthe, ragadvesho vyavastithau. You will have this, either a like or a dislike or some indifference will be there. Indifference also. It's okay. Somebody is walking. I don't have a love for them. I don't have a hatred for them. Tayorna vashamagaccheti, he says. Don't come under their spell. Be happy that you like something or dislike something. That's it. That means your value system decides it. And be happy you have that value system. But you don't have to be carried away by your likes and dislikes. That's what he says there. He doesn't say give up your likes and dislikes. So here, Vairagyam means what? Second qualification. People who are under their own control. They are not going to be carried away by their likes and dislikes. So for such people, vītarāgiṇām, for such people, Viveka he doesn't say, but vītarāgiṇām, this text is for such people, vītarāgiṇām. Okay, second qualification, Vairagyam. Third qualification is itself a group of 6 qualifications. Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi. Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi. That itself is a list of 6. Beginning with Shama. Okay. Alright. Shama means mastery of the mind. Mastery of the mind. Dhamma. Alright, let's do Shama first. Because Shama is first. Shama means understanding that I have emotional problems and working on those problems means I've recognized that mind is an important entity and I need to improve my mind as much as I am going to the gym and working on my body. Everybody appreciates going to the gym and doing all these things. Who are you doing that for your mind also? This is the question. A person who recognizes that has Shama. I am angry. I am constantly yelling at my family members. Do you know that this is a problem? Yes, I know this is a problem. Good. 50% of the problem solved. Then what are you going to do about it? I'm going to take an anger management course. Great. You are working towards Shama. This is it. You're on the way to victory. You're on the victory lap. Shama. Shama means appreciating that the mind is so important that I have to use it for bigger things and not get lost in day-to-day things and especially emotional outbursts and things like that. Only then the mind will be available for what I really want to do. So that's why mastery of the mind. Mano nigraha in Sanskrit, that's what they say. Mano nigraha. So, I've been through a lot of traumas in my childhood, which is now impacting me. Psychologists will say that if I go to a psychologist. Yeah, go ahead and visit a psychologist. Nothing wrong. I have also done it. Okay. I wanted to figure out what is this psychologist and all people go. Then I figured out I also had all kinds of problems. And so I worked on it. So unless somebody does an examination, how do we know all these things? And so otherwise we all masquerade as smart beings, human beings, and done this, been there, done that and all that. So you give up all this been there, done that attitude and just take a hard self-assessment. Okay, so that is Shama. Then that person has Shama. So past traumas are there, I want to take care of that. Unwept traumas, unwept, it's all there. It's all here. It's all here. And then I become hard because of that. I become hard means what? I don't know I'm not expressed those feelings, emotions. I'm not wept. I'm not cried at all. And so it's all there inside. It becomes solid. It looks as though the person is very courageous and able to deal with all situations very well. Yes, some truth is there in that, but there is something still, the person is uptight about a lot of things. So all that, I want to work on all that. Shama, that is all Shama. Okay, Shama means going towards Shama. Then once the person does all this, then the person will be called a Shami. Okay, so so that's why this mind control is big business. Shama is not mind control. They say control of the mind. No chance. We don't allow all that. We don't allow means what? Mind is not to be controlled. Poor thing. Poor thing. It is there available for us. Who are you to control all it? If you get trapped into this mind control thing, then we are going to get booked for life. Big business. Does your mind listen to you? No. See, I told you. When you sit in meditation, are you able to meditate? No. See, I told you. Does your mind tell you to do things you don't want to do? Yes, of course. See, you should come to my course. 1 week, mind control camp. There will be thousands of people there because this is the language they understand. No. There's no such thing like that. Krishna says that right there. What is that? Natmanam avasadayet. Okay.
Uddharet Atmanatmanam.
Uddharet Atmanatmanam. Correct. Uddharet Atmanatmanam. Help yourself by yourself. Literally means take care of yourself. You can do well. You can work on yourself and you can get better. Natmanam avasade. Don't say my mind is like this. He don't listen to me. I am always perturbed. I am always agitated. And it is out of control. Don't say all these things. Say it only to some extent, that's all. Then move on. Natmanam avasade. He is giving that advice. So, all this comes under the category of Shama. Working on the mind. Now, next quality out of the 6 is Dhamma. Dhamma. D-A-M-A. Dhamma. When I don't have Shama, I need what is called Dhamma. What is Dhamma? Dhamma is gritting the teeth and say, no, I will not do it. Gritting the teeth. No, my parents will scold me if I do this. This boy doesn't know anything about drugs or smoking. Friends are saying, come on yaar, ek puff lo, what is the big deal? This is how it starts. Ek puff low. And he says, no. No, I'm not. I'm just going away from here. He just went off from there. See that? Dhamma. Because he doesn't have any control. He knows he doesn't have control. What did he do? I'm going to go off from here. You guys do whatever you want. Pakka. The nice trick it is. That is Dhamma. Dhamma means what? I don't know how to say no. I will get trapped in this thing. So I will just go away from this. If the guy has Shama, he will say, what are you guys doing? Smoking? You hard-earned money, you are spending it on smoking? Did you earn your money? This money is your earned? You are spending somebody else's. Something like that we can argue. Or at least say, I don't need this. You guys, I'll have some lime juice. That is called Shama. So, Dhamma is needed. Dhamma is needed if I don't have Shama. Okay? So, in Sanskrit they say, Indriya Nigraha. Indriya Nigraha means the sense organs that are all there, through which I am encountering the world. I have mastery over that. Means what? I can withdraw myself from those situations by running away like this. Means what? Without Shama, I am acting. Without Shama, without mind control, mind mastery, I am acting. That's called Dhamma. Swami gives other examples. He will say, the anger is there. Somebody made me angry. Somebody made me furious. But then I don't shout at them because shouting at people is not my nature. So what do? After they leave, the anger is still there. I'm furious. The blood is boiling. Swami will say, take a heavy towel and then make it wet. Go to the restroom, close the door, make sure nobody hears it, and then hit the wall with the towel. Hit the wall with the towel. So that all this anger, just say whatever you want to say and then hit it. Good. So you got something out. So all these are comes under the category of Dhamma and Shama. I think you understand it. Shama, Dhamma, Uparatihi. Uparatihi. Literal meaning is withdrawal. Sannyasa. Literal meaning it is. Uparatihi. Uparamaha. Okay. Quietude or quietitude, I think. Yeah. Whatever. Quietude means withdrawal from engagement. Withdrawal from things that you have grown out of. That is called Uparatihi. Beautiful. Nice word it is. And another definition given to Uparati by Atmabodha, we all know it. Swadharmanushthanameva. Swadharmanushthanameva. Doing your duty is called Uparati. What a definition it is. What is the connection between doing your duty and withdrawal? I was thinking about it when I first heard it. I said, what is the connection? The connection is, if you are doing your duty, you are automatically, by definition, withdrawing from the things you ought not to be doing or you don't have to be doing. That is why he says Swadharmanushthanam. Because dharma is there, a lot of things are there to do. Family is there, Vaidika dharma is there, Nitya Naimitika karma is there, Puja Prarthana is there, so many things are there. They will suffer if I am constantly out there. I met somebody recently, senior citizen. Look at this. Look at how we learn from people. They were very active in the community. So always singing, dancing, and that kind of a senior citizen she was. And then some husband was sick, etc. And then they, for 6-7 months, 1 year almost out of circuit. Because of sickness and all, she had to take care of people at home. And it seems people are asking her, where are you? Where is that old? There is that old quote-unquote person. Where is that old Jaya? We have not seen that Jaya yet, like that. I am changing the name. Old Jaya is not there. And she quotes a particular mantra from the Ramana Maharshi. And she says, look, if people say like this, kannu pattudu. Kannu pattudu means, that, enna solradhu adukku? When people talk like...
नजर लग जाएगा.
Casting an evil eye. Evil eye.
Casting an evil eye. Evil eye. So, okay, evil eye. So, touch wood and all this. Touch wood. So, evil eye. So, Ramana Maharshi is telling, casting an evil eye, she said. I think people have put a lot of, because she's very popular also. And this kind of type. She will sing. A singing competition, she's there. Dancing competition, she's there. Games, she's there. She's there all over. And so, I think I got this thing. I told her, yeah, that is true. That is also true. But Ramana Maharshi is not telling that. She was in for a shock. I could see that. And I told her, he's saying, if you are constantly out there, Ramana Maharshi's famous statement is, Nan Yar, did you ask the question, who am I? That is his famous statement. Okay? And where is the time you are going to get to ask the question, Nan Yar? Did you ever ask the question? He's saying, if you are constantly out there, you are never in here. That is what he's saying, I said. Gapchip ho gaya. From evil eye and all, he's not interested in evil eye, I said. So that's what it is. Uparatihi. Come back to yourself. You need to, at some point or time, come back to yourself. Alright, moving on from there. Fourth one is titiksha. Titiksha. Okay, in Vivekachudamani we saw all these things. So there he gives a meaning, sukha dukkadi dvandvat. Titiksha means what? Some kind of ability to put up with, ability to bear, ability to bear with all this heat, cold, gain, loss, all these things. Life is going to be up and down. Good health, ill health. Good health, I have no complaints. Ill health, I am down. Okay? Nice, 25 degrees temperature out there. Great, no complaints. 35 degrees, gone. Gone. My whole mind is gone because of this 35 degree weather. Okay? So he says, you must have titiksha. You must have a relative ability to say, not that I will stand under 35 degree and then, lose my brain. No, not that. He says, accept that this is how things are. Accept that you can't change the outside weather. You can't change it. That is there. And so things are going to happen. You do whatever you have to do. If you need to buy an AC and sit in an AC room. That is fine. That's your choice. But don't complain. Complaining means I am now focused on those things. My mind is out there. Rather than here, what I am supposed to do is gone. And so, titiksha is important. It's an important requirement. So, in Indians, you will find that generally people are used to. They are very used to putting up with a lot of these kinds of natural inconveniences. And so Swamiji at one time long ago, I remember, some 25-30 years back, in his talk he said, the first thing, a guy goes to America to study. For the first time he sets foot into America. And the first thing he loses is titiksha. Everything is air conditioned. Roads are all clean. Nothing to complain about. So he got used to all this. Then he comes back after 2 years to India. Kya hai? What is all this? Oh. Papa, so hot. Papa. Hey, the same country you left, isn't a country hasn't changed anything in 2 years. 2 years, nothing can change in India. And it hasn't gotten that worse also, as far as I know. So what is this? Too hot. Traffic, oh my God, look at the way they are driving. Literally, this is the language they use. Okay. What happened? Titiksha is gone. That's all. Little buddhi also gone. But titiksha definitely gone. Okay. That is titiksha. Then, fifth one, shraddha. Shraddha. Shrat dadhati iti shraddha. Shrad, it gives knowledge. Therefore, it's called shraddha. Very powerful words these are. They translate shraddha as faith. faith, belief, vishwasaha. Here also definition is like that. Guru Shastra Vakyeshu Vishwasaha. You believe what the teacher says. You have trust in the words of the teacher and this Shastram. That is what is Shraddha. Okay. Now, is it blind belief? This question comes immediately. Blind belief. See, I know nothing about Atma. What question can you ask about Atma? Please tell me. You know nothing about Atma. What can you ask about Atma? Nothing. You can only go round and round. You can go round and round and ask questions. Because that's where our knowledge base is. Atma, nothing is there. And so, the only way you can access it by saying, I will accept whatever comes as true. Guruji will never say stop thinking. No, at least in Advaita Vedanta, we will never say stop thinking. Other religions, they do. Okay. And we want you to think. We want to use the mind for what it should be used. And so that is our goal. We are only deconditioning people. And so, if you look at every child going to school from LKG onwards, do you know why the child comes back and says, teacher taught me this today. Look, this is what A is. Really? I've been teaching you for the last 1 year. You didn't listen to me. You are telling me teacher taught you what A is? Do you know why? The child has 100% Shraddha. I won't say not Shraddha in the parents. Shraddha in the parents is there for other things. You will take care of me. I know you will give me food. I know. That much Shraddha I have. But when it comes to ABC and 1, 2, 3, Shraddha in the teacher is there. And so much Shraddha is there. The mind is like a sponge. It just sponge. It just absorbs everything. Absorb. That is why you and I are educated. I am telling you, literacy rate is there because of Shraddha only. If the child goes there and says, how do you know this is how A should be written? Means what? I saw in the phone some other A like this, some circular thing. Like this, if it starts arguing, where is the question? The teacher has to just hit their head on the wall. That's the maximum. That's Shraddha. Shraddha works. Until a point where you can do Q&A and all that, and the more grown up we are, the more Q&A we engage in, and that's fine. In a college, the teacher must allow for Q&A. Can't say you listen to what I say and all, they can't say, because now we are talking about higher education. So, Shraddhavan labate jnanam, Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, you all know that. Shraddhavan labate jnanam, the one who has Shraddha gains knowledge, like that he says. Anyway, this is Shraddha, Chitta Shraddha. The next one is this Samadhanam. Samadhanam. Shraddha. You have to have Shraddha in me. At least the new students who are here in class. Some of them are new. You don't know who I am. Something you signed up, you ended up here. How do you know what you're going to get? So many YouTube people are there and you ended up here. How do you know? You need a lot of Shraddha. How do you know I'm not running a ChatGPT simulator? I tell this to people. I have a premium service, and in that premium service, there is something. Now I have trained ChatGPT on all the talks I have given over the last 10 years. It knows everything, and it knows the text Atmabodha also. It knows better than me, in fact. And now, based on my style and my jokes, it even tells, now it's time for you to tell this joke. Yeah, I have that simulator running in front of me. I'm looking at it. How do you know I'm not doing that or I'm doing that? You have no idea. You have absolutely no idea. I love Zoom for that reason. There's all this mess that is there next to me. You all can't see it. I don't have to clean my place at all, table. It's just only when somebody comes, I do something. Clean it up. You know nothing about me, about my place, nothing you know. And I don't have to do anything also. How do you know? You have to have Shraddha, correct? इसमें कुछ है, कुछ माल है यहाँ पर. I think I will get, at least you should start like that. Then over time, I can disprove your assumption also. Means what? I can prove that I am not worthy of of belief or whatever, this is a waste of time. I've lost 3 months, 4 months. I could have done something else. So many courses have started in so many places. Somebody told me the other day that you register for this, Swami, this course. I told you, you didn't listen. And he said, yeah, I didn't listen. I should have listened to you. So, Shraddha. So, Shraddha is, minimum Shraddha is required. At least to come to that point, you need Shraddha. You need Shraddha. Because this has been out of the realm of my the things, been there, done that. This was not there in that list. Okay. So Shraddha. Then Samadhanam, last of the 6 qualifications of the 3rd qualification is, the sub-qualification is called Samadhanam. Samadhanam, Chitta Ekagrata. That is called Samadhanam. Ability to focus your mind on something for some amount of time. All of you know that if you want to accomplish something significant, you've got to pay attention to it and stay focused. Stay focused. Sometimes difficult to focus, then you say, no, I have to just let go of these things and stay focused. Why? Because we are entering that kind of territory which is not going to talk about Krishna's Leelas. Bhagavatam, you don't need that kind of chitta ekagrata. Bhagavatam story just comes back and forth, and especially if the Kathakara is very accomplished. In our tradition, there are many accomplished people, and the way they tell, they suddenly will sing a song also. It's not monotonous at all, like this Vedanta class. These are all dry classes. Very dry. There you go, and people are laughing and crying, and they're doing all kinds of stuff. No such magic happens in this class. So what do you need? You need Chitta Ekagrata. You need Samadhanam. Something has to say, stay put. I'll come back to you later. What are we going for lunch? What are we doing for lunch tonight, this afternoon? I'll come back later. Why? I'll come back. It's only half an hour more. I'll come back. That is called Chitta Ekagrata. Yeah, tell me. Somebody was talking. Okay.
Yeah, if Vedanta is not dry, then it will be boring.
Later. Yeah, that's fine. So, that's why we are forced to tell jokes. I learnt all this joke telling from Swamiji only. I mean, I don't have to. What has jokes got to do with Vedanta? Please tell me. Nothing. No connection. But then I also realized, even for my talking, sometimes it's good. It's good because it gives me a break also. And I think you also might enjoy it. I don't know. So some of you laugh, some of you are still looking like this. So I said, okay, that's fine. That's how it is. All jokes are received that way only. Husband is laughing, wife is not laughing. What to do? That's okay. There's nothing wrong. This is what it is. This is how it is. But then somebody will, while taking a shower next day, then they'll start laughing. And then they ask, what happened? Are you okay? No, Guruji said a joke, yesterday. That is fantastic. Thank you. If you can say that, I'll appreciate it. All right. So this is called Shamadhi Shakka Sampattihi. So now look at this word in the shloka, śāntānāṃ. That word Shanta refers to this Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi. He uses the word śāntānāṃ. But refer to all these qualifications. They don't have to list all these things. It is representative. śāntānāṃ, people who have Shama. That is a literal meaning. Shama was the first one of the 6, I told you. Mano Nigraha, mastery of the mind. These people have that kind of mastery. śāntānāṃ, vītarāgiṇām. 4th one, qualification, mumukṣūtvam. That is the 4th one, mumukṣūtvam. Means a desire for moksha. That is the literal meaning. Okay, literal meaning, desire for moksha. Now this is a problem. You know why this is a problem? Because I don't know what moksha is. Only if I know what moksha is, I can desire for moksha, correct? Suppose I ask you, do you want to drink gagabugai? No, you have to say yes or no. You can't laugh at me like this. Do you want to drink gagabugai? Don't Google and say, is there a new drink called gagabugai and all? Is it released in India and all? Who makes it? Coca-Cola makes it. Don't do all that. Because you won't find it. You can't desire for something that you don't know. Okay? So, Now he says mumukṣūtvam. These people should have an intense desire for moksha. Moksho me bhuyaditi ichha. And so, okay, that's why living in a country like India is important. Important means what? You get exposed to these things only through the tradition, through people talking, through the classical music, through the, this Saptah, Bhagavata Saptah, through Ramayana. All this we hear these words. And now at least you've heard the words. There is something called moksha. But eventually I'll have to know what is moksha. That's what we are doing here. But this fellow that he's talking about already knows what is moksha and wants to get it. That guy is called a mumukshu. And that state of mind is called mumukṣūtvam. That's what he's saying here. That person has mumukṣūtvam. And so in this shloka, mumukṣūṇāṃ. And people who are mumukshus also. Because I can be a viragi, I can be a shami and dami, etc. But I don't know anything about moksha and I am not a mumukshu. Possible. We are all in, spectrum is huge. Huge spectrum is there. So we can be anywhere in this map. But he's saying, in this ideal situation, where a person has all these 4 qualifications, okay? Vivekam, vivekaha, vairagyaha, shama, dama, titiksha, uparati, shraddha, samadhanam. And the 4th one, which is mumukṣūtvam. If a person has all that, then this Atmabodha, this person is right. This person's mind is ripe and ready for Atmabodha. Okay? That's what he's saying here. mumukṣūṇāmapekṣyo'yam. Apekṣyo'yam. Ayam Atmabodha vidhīyate. mumukṣūṇāmapekshaha. With regard to, apekshaha means consideration. In consideration of such people, with regard to such people, for the benefit of such people, this text is indicated. This text is composed by me. It doesn't say by me. This is typical in our Shastra. They will never say I and all that. The word I will be missing in all the commentaries, and they are not going to, they will never say I. Maximum they will say we, W-E, plural. Means entire tradition is included in the we. Okay? Because who am I? I did not invent any of these things. That's what they are saying. I am only a nimittam in this process. And so, Atmabodha vidhīyate. And so this viraga, vairagya. Okay, a formal definition if you want, I'll give you. In Atmabodha we studied Iha amutra phala bhogartha rahityam. Iha amutra phala bhogartha rahityam. Okay. Or Iha amutrartha phala bhoga. Okay, got it. Okay, phala bhoga rahityam. Phala bhoga. The desire to experience. We are all experience hunters. Phala bhoga. I want to somehow feel good, eat good stuff, and this good only is there going on in my head. And so he's saying that mindset has to go away. Has to go away. Phala bhoga. And where? Iha means in this world, and amutra also. That there is some better experiences waiting for me later. Later means, Shastram says there is a later life also. Whatever be the religion, they talk about heaven. Every religion pushes us to heaven. That heavenly experience I am now waiting for, I am ready for, I am tired. I have gone the length and breadth of earth, and I know I have been to all countries, and I have done all this scuba diving, this, that, everything over. Water is gone. I have done all the, what is that?
Parasailing.
Parasailing, cruise. I'm forgetting all these words. Cruises and all, I've done everything, been there, done that. Now everything is just masala. They're adding a little masala and putting a different name to it. I figured it all out. And so now there is nothing to do. What to do? Heaven is left out, correct? Yeah. So at least let me secure my future. He's saying, Iha amutra artha phala bhoga. Here and afterlife anywhere else. If somebody talks about some life anywhere, there also amutra. Artha, anything that is there to experience in those worlds. Phala bhoga. Experiencing those kinds of things, if I can get it. Rahityam, absence of such a desire. Absence of such a desire. It's called vairagyam. What a definition they give. Okay? So, yeah, I'm looking at the Tika written by Shankara's own student, Padmapada. Wrote a Tika, wrote a commentary of Atmabodha. So I'm just looking to see if there is some points here. But we have covered everything. And Swamiji would say, oh, so I forgot to say one thing. Tapobhiḥ kṣīṇapāpānāṃ. I hope some of you realize that I forgot to explain that. How did they get these qualifications? Kṣīṇapāpānāṃ, whose papas have reduced. How did it reduce? Tapobhiḥ. By doing tapas. What kind of tapas? Tapas means immediately my mind will go to Amachitrakata, and the person is doing Shirshasana and standing on one leg. Dhruva used to stand on one leg, I think, and doing tapas like this. Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om. Correct.
So
Om Namo
Hiranyakashipu and all that.
Yeah, tapas. They all did tapas. Correct. Hiranyakashipu also did tapas. And correct. That is also required. But standing on one leg and all this, don't get carried away. That is a way to show tapas. That's a way to show that once just you look at the person immediately, wow. Because a mental tapas can't be explained. So physical tapas only they can explain, they can show. And so they do all that. Tapobhiḥ means all disciplines. Whatever I am doing, whatever yoga, pranayama, tirtha yatra, puja, prarthana, everything included. Teaching children all these things, that also is tapas only. That also is tapas. And staying with Ishvara, upavasa, all these things we are doing, everything is tapas. Put everything under tapas. Ekadashi, upavasa is there. Yeah, do it. Good. You will learn what it means to live by withdrawing some of the things I like salt, like good food. Good food. Okay? That day eat food that are nutritious. You ended up getting nutritious food actually. You'll do detox. Without paying money, you can get detoxified. How about that? Okay? So, that is called tapas. This is how I am explaining tapas. If this talk were going on 2500 years ago, you know how tapas would have been explained? Look at this. Let's look at the Tika. He would have said, he's saying, Krichra Chandrayana Nitya Naimittika Adi Anushtana Rupaihi Tapobhiḥ, he says. Where is, he's saying, Nitya Karma, Naimittika Karma. There are duties for a human being. For a Vaidika especially, Nitya Karma is there. All this Prarthana, Puja, Adi, Vaidika Karma is there. Agnihotram and all is there for a married person. That person has to do all these things. That is what he is listing in this definition. Chandrayanam means there is a particular tapas called Chandrayanam, which is you eat well this day 0. Day 1, you cut out 1/15th of the dosage. What you eat, 1/15th. You have only 14/15ths of what you eat. Then 13/15. Then cut out 1/15. Cut out 1/15. 15th day you won't have anything. Then 16th day, the remaining 15 days gradually go up. 1/15, 2/15, 3, 4, 5. Finally, on the 30th day, you will have a full meal. This is called Chandrayana. This is not possible. They're not possible. In today's world, I don't see people doing it. That's what I'm saying. But they used to do it. He's talking about it. Padmapada is talking. That means people used to do it. Chandrayanam. Where is Ekadashi? Ekadashi seems like a child's play compared to Chandrayanam. Correct? That is what he is listing here. That is what his definition of tapas is. If I give that definition of tapas now, people will leave my class. I can't do it because it's not practical. So I'm saying tapas means whatever it takes to bring yourself to this particular study, that is called tapas. Anything else, if Swamiji will say, kṣīṇapāpānāṃ, I'll be done in a minute. Kṣīṇapāpānāṃ, whose papas have reduced. What is papas? What do you mean by papas have reduced? Means what? Any obstacle to Vedanta is called a papa. So Swamiji says, even your husband and wife can be put in that category. Your parents can be put in the category. He's making a very bold statement. Think about it. Means what? If somebody is discouraging you from Atma Vidya, that means it's a papa only for me. Papa means what? It's an obstacle. Give up the word papa. It's an obstacle to me. kṣīṇapāpānāṃ. For those who have overcome all these things, for them I am teaching Atmabodha. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.